Hey everybody, it's 8-Bit Eric and I'm here with Terry Naughton, who has worked on such Disney animations as Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and more. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Appreciate it, Eric.
Awesome. As I mentioned, you worked on some of Disney's biggest blockbusters. How was it like working on some of those?
Yeah, it's as you would think. It was fun. It's really cool being part of history, and that's what it was. And when we were working on it, that's what we told ourselves. The old guys were part of history, and now it's up to us. And you got to carry it on. You got to carry it forward, and you got to do your job, and it's fun, and people will recognize you. It's great.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Disney is a company that's not just. It goes beyond just animation. It's a part of our. It's a staple of our history. It's like, you think of our nation, actually worldwide. Disney's up there, and I'm sure it was a real honor working for a company, and it's something that you can look back on. What are some of your favorite moments that you had being part of Disney?
Boy, favorite moments. Are we talking about the rubber band fights? We had a lot of that stuff. Favorite moments. Animation moments. Beauty and the Beast, I think, was just it was an awesome experience. Little Mermaid was awesome. Also, that was our first $100 million movie, so we broke this barrier. And when we hit that mark, the whole film industry all of a sudden say, we weren't just these little cartoons anymore. We're making more money than you guys are.
Yeah.
And so that woke them up. And so it was fun. And to be part of that history was just a really great experience. Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you were doing before you got the call from Disney? I mean, how were you doing as far as, obviously it was a life-changing experience, but how about your early work? Could you tell us a little bit about your early work?
Sure. I was training to become an illustrator, not an animator. I was not in my idea to do that. I mean, once again, though, like every kid, you see this movie, I want to draw that and I want to be that. So I did that, but it really wasn't real. And when I was studying in school, I was studying to be an illustrator. It was a mentor of mine, Jack Lenwood, who saw my sketchbook, and he's the one who said, kid, you've got a great drawing style. I can get you in over Disney. So he got me started there. I was lucky enough, it was a very difficult process to stay, but I was lucky enough to kind of make it through the process. And even then I told myself that I'm not going to be doing this long. I'm going to get back to my roots as an illustrator. So that's what I was doing before I got called into the Disney family. And I still do it, and I did it all the way through Disney. But that was what I was going to be doing.
Okay, cool. And animation nowadays is changing a lot. It's a little bit more computerized and everything. But do you think perhaps maybe the style, the old hand-drawn animation, do you think there's a market for that to come back? I mean, do you think? I mean, you could tell a little bit of the difference in the way the movies were made, and along with the storyline. I think the storyline and the animations have a lot go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Do you think that possibly it could make a comeback to its original roots?
That's what I'm hoping for. Whether I ever animate again or not, I would love to see the 2D stuff back. I explain this to a lot of people when I talk with them. That is that it'd be like oil painting. The easiest way to explain it is it'd be like oil painting and watercolors. I mean, okay, so oil painting is really popular. So you throw all the watercolors away? It doesn't make sense. Why can't you have both pieces of art? Why can't we just have CGI and 2D? You don't have to just throw it away and, it's all CGI. It won't make money.
Yeah.
You'll make money. You tell a good story, and actually look at some of the Japanese anime stuff.
Yeah.
They have great stories. They're 2D and they're limited animation, and yet they're very popular. So it's about the story, and then does that story fit better for 2D? Does it fit better for 3D? Once you've done that, and everybody's got what they want, and then you can pick and choose.
See, that's the thing. I believe artwork never dies, and it's all about the passion. And I believe the more classic that the movies were, like take example the older Disney films like Snow White and even Fox and the Hound, which is my favorite one. It just had a little bit of you could feel the passion and emotion in the actual hand drawing than the actual computer animation. Yeah. There's more the artist. You could see just the artist when they're putting the thought. Yeah. That it transferred over onto the paper. I mean,
I can tell you something about that. Glenn Keane, who was in my view, and it's no cut on Eric or any of the other ones. I worked with all of them. They're all great. But Glenn Keane in my view, was just one of the most amazing animators. And to watch him work, and to watch him draw his characters, and the passion that he put into it. Kind of a cool thing was, he was doing a lot of these villains and goofy stuff, and then the Little Mermaid comes around and he says, "I want to do Ariel." Well, the directors were like, "Glenn, you're a 30-some-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Do you think you could even do a 14, 15-year-old girl?" He says, "I have one."
Oh, yeah.
He says, and here is Glenn in his room, acting out, doing all of these things, and of course you can see he just did a great job. But his passion was to dive into that character.
Yeah.
Lovely. I mean, just beautiful work. And then he goes from that to doing the Beast, and I mean pounding on walls and doing all of that stuff.
That movie was a classic.
Oh yeah, but it was just awesome. So like you were saying, he poured himself, and all of our animators did. Eric Goldberg and Andreas Deja, they just dive into it.
Yeah.
And they're very personal to that work, and it's from their brain to their hand to the paper now. Yeah. So nuances and drawings. Yeah.
Well, I do know that there is actually a lot of inspiring younger illustrators and animators out there that want to get their foot in the door, and I know that a lot of them actually enjoy the older work. Is there any advice you would like to give to any of them, if for those watching this that would like to probably experience anything that you have?
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I tell this to a lot of young, and I taught a lot of young people. We had a saying at the Disney and in my schools, and that's called pencil mileage. Draw, 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 and then draw some more, and keep drawing, and you redraw things. Draw live action stuff. Draw speed. Draw as much as you can. And then, of course, nowadays, take Maya lessons, take CGI lessons, but draw. It starts with drawing, and draw a lot.
All right. Well, Terry, I appreciate you taking the time for this interview. Is there anything that you're currently working on, or any way that people can reach you to check more of your work?
Yes, you can always reach me through the Hound Comics. This is our new group. Brimstone is our leader in force here, and he's awesome. And I am actually working on a new book. I just finished this book, a book of my art called Terry Naughton, the art of Terry Naughton. It's got a lot of my current paintings and such. You can get that through Brimstone, as well as terrynaughton.com. And I've also done some children's books with Peter Mayhew, the character who played Chewbacca in Star Wars. So, thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and keep working. Keep the magic of animation alive. Thank you.